Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to Hibiscus Sports Complex on the Harry Haxton Court for QBL Round 1 action between the Southwest Metro Pirates and the Toowoomba Mountaineers. It's our first game of the season and incredibly happy to be here. As always, my name is Regan Baker from the Stream Team AU, and tonight in the commentary booth I am very, very glad to be joined by David Miles. Southwest, for as long as I can remember at least anyway, you're the SBL Men 2 coach this year for the Pirates, and last season it's great to have you on board because you were the statistician for the Southwest QBL men team last year as well. So tell us a little bit about that, what your role was and what you were doing in the stats booth with the guys.
Yeah, sure. Like my role with that was obviously all the games go up on Huddle anyway, but as soon as the games go up, some of the coaches will be given certain teams to scout for future rounds and everything else. And as soon as we got our hands on any type of film, we would cut it up, try and get certain teams would run a certain action against a certain type of defense. So like for us last year, we played a lot of flow, so we'll try and go, right, if teams are running this sort of defense, they're going to ice out pick and rolls, what are we going to do against it? So it was definitely a learning experience. It definitely expanded my knowledge of the game and how it runs in the little nitty-gritty parts. So
yeah, absolutely. And so obviously having worked so closely with the team last year, some big changes in the lineup. We've got a lot of new players coming into the Southwest team this year, in the men's especially. How do you think they're going to go in comparison to last season with the player changes?
I think it will go well. We've still got obviously the core two with Vinesy and JB, and then with the addition of Sean, he had a few little intros with the team last season, and the fact that we've also got additions with Nelson Larkins, the son of the coach, which he had a fantastic career down at or up at Mackay. He also had a stint with the Adelaide 36ers, so obviously he's going to bring that experience into it. And playing overseas in Finland, I remember just before we signed him, he dropped a 40-point game in the Pro League over in Finland. So just bringing that experience, just bringing that type of knowledge to the point guard role is definitely going to be a good change, in my opinion, with the team.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking at the roster that the Southwest team has brought onto the market this season, I think they've got a wealth of potential, and there's some really, really great players on the team as well. And just to talk through some of the big changes as well while we're getting ready for the game to start here, Jarrett Croft, an amazing import coming into Southwest for the first time, coming in from Franklin, Tennessee. He spent 2 years playing for the Auburn University in Montgomery in Alabama. He's played for Texas Southern University. He's 6'10". He pulled 353 boards in 2 seasons at AUM. So absolutely massive. Standing in front of us at the moment, we've got young Nelson Larkins joining us as well with a wealth of experience coming out of the NBL side as well. So there's just some great players for this Southwest team. And Henry Puono as well. Only 27 years of age, but he's played all over the world. He's played ball in Italy. He's played for Finland. He's played in Saudi Arabia. And, now he's gracing our Australian shores and coming down here and playing with the Pirates as well. So some really great names out there on the floor, and I think it's going to be an interesting game as we tip off here with Southwest winning the jump.
Yeah, definitely. Hyman a long ball. Over to Vinesy. JB. There we go.
Yeah, Bairstow taking a nice early jump shot there from the inside. Can't find the points, but it's going to be rebounded by the defense, and they're going to pick a foul as well. So they're going to call that against number 2. I'll be back momentarily, guys. I'm so sorry. We're going to pause the commentary for 2 seconds. We just got a bit of a technical issue that I need to take care of. apologies there, guys. There's just some technical issues going on with the upload for Huddle that we just had to go and take care of, but we are back now. We're 1 minute in, and it's 0-3, the lead early on for Toowoomba, but Southwest now taking control.
I believe
Sorry?
it's for us. Yeah.
For us?
Yeah.
I'm so used to being home and away rather than line and dark. I was looking at the scoreboard incorrectly.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's also because like we're one of the only associations that have the home bench on the right of the score bench as well.
Yeah, it's definitely not the way that's meant to be. And as a referee, you know, coming from my 8 years of QBL experience, it's never normally that way. So it does get a little bit confusing looking at the scoreboard versus what it is. But lo and behold, it's 0-3. Southwest has got themselves that early lead. I'm sure it's not going to last too long as Toowoomba finds their way inside with a huge shot on the inside there. It's not going to fall in, but they are going to pick the foul. And they're going to call that one against the captain, Vines, sending Spurgeon to the line for 2. And I do apologize if I do get any of these last names incorrect. So, Dave, obviously I missed the first little minute and a bit there while I was just trying to take care of those Huddle issues. What have you seen so far on the court? I know it's only been a minute, but coming out of the gate, aggression, style of play, how are things going early on for both teams? What have you noticed?
What I've noticed so far, Toowoomba's been a little bit erratic early on. As soon as we scored from the free throws, we just implemented a 1-2-2 press. It wasn't really there to speed the game up. It was just to slow them down, to get them to the half court, waste the first 8 seconds of the shot clock, and I believe that's really thrown Toowoomba a little bit early on. Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, and Southwest has always been one of those teams that's been known for that style of play as well. I mean, you know, it shouldn't come to any surprise to Toowoomba because it's the way we've played for so many years. As we see Bairstow drain a beautiful three-point shot from the right-hand side there, taking that lead out to 5 points. But Southwest has always been such a fast team and a very aggressive team in that sense as well. So it's great to see that style of play continuing and obviously being effective early on. Yeah, exactly. Oh, and a huge block. Oh, no, they're going to get the foul there after. It looked like an amazing block there coming from James Ringholt. But they are going to call it back now and call that one a foul. And so we're going to send, I believe it is Martin to the line for 2. But even again, right, an amazing first effort as well from both teams. Great aggression there from Martin, driving down the court, driving at the bodies of the Southwest players, going all the way to the bucket. And really good effort there from Ringholt as well. I mean, from where we were sitting, it did look like it was a block. Obviously, just a little bit of body contact there on the side. But that aggression is there from both teams. So I do think we have a good game on our hands here. Oh, definitely. And especially if Pirates just always look to push the pace as well. The fact that we've got a 4-man in JB who's willing to, push it up the floor and also dribble it up the floor as well. Just have that breakout dribble. Yeah, definitely. So as we see Larkins, it looked like that one was going to fall through, but just popped out at the last moment as well. And now Toowoomba again moving forward fast with the aggression there, but they're going to pin a foul off ball. And they're going to call that one against Nelson Larkins as well with the hold off the ball. So both teams in a little bit of foul trouble early on. It's 3 apiece. We're only 2.5 minutes in. Yeah, it's a bit surprising. I like the fact that the rest are wanting to call it early and the fact to get a hold on the game early as well, which is always helpful. But sometimes you just want to let them play too. Yeah, definitely so, and especially with what we've seen in the NBL season this year as well. The NBL as a whole was a much more strict game of basketball in the first half of the game in particular. It just seems to be the way, I mean, obviously I've been out of the game for quite a while now, but it does seem that really, as we see young Bairstow going in with a huge two-hand throwdown. Great to see both Bairstow brothers out on the court as well together playing in the QBL. But as we were sort of saying, the referees do tend to call it quite tight in the first half of the game now to let it go in the second half. But look, as always, Jace Hay, we've got Jackie Dover and Corey Guy out on the floor as well. I mean, 3 amazing referees, well and truly seasoned in the league. Definitely. So I'm sure this is the way it's going to be called across the entire QBL season. But yeah, I've got no issues with the fouls getting called early on because it means we're going to have a clean, fast-paced, really well-played game of basketball as we see Martin, I believe, again going inside for the nice, easy bucket. Yeah, I guess you're right. Especially if both teams do make the adjustments, then we are going to see the nice, clean, flow of the game as well. Yeah, absolutely, and it is definitely set to be a really interesting and really fast-paced game. It's a 4-point difference, but Vinesy taking a 3-point shot there for 2. Amazing shot from Vines, taking it out to a 7-point lead early on for the Pirates.
Not to be outdone, though. Toowoomba going to the line for 3 as well. Martin's a little bit too soft, bouncing off the front of the rim. So we see Larkins now coming down southwest end of the floor. He's going to hand off to Ringholt. Around to Vines. And Vines tries to hand off to Ringholt. They're just going to ping a foul in there on that handoff as well. It's going against number 11, so that's Perkins for Toowoomba.
And that was quite interesting there on that pick and roll coverage. Like the fact that Vines is coming off and Toowoomba just decided to stay in a drops position as well, where just the 5-man just tends to sag off. But Vinesy is known for that one dribble pull-up, so I'm quite surprised by that.
Yeah, and Vinesy, for being such a small player as well in comparison to what's out on the floor, he can get himself inside and still pull some amazing fancy arm work to get the layup as well.
Definitely.
So, yeah, it is surprising they haven't watched him a little bit more and just know the style of play that he has.
Mm.
We've got 6 seconds on the inbound pass here from Southwest. Jared Bairstow straight into Vines for the deep 2. No good, though. Bairstow hands off. Ringholt goes inside. That no good either. And this time it's the defensive board for Weber.
Oh, they had a mismatch inside with Larkins covering Spurgeon, which they should have just gone to early.
Yeah, but it still paid off in their favor. That 3-point drop, I believe that one went to Weber as well. So it still worked in their favor. Southwest now working the ball around the outside. Ringholt dishes off to Jared Bairstow. He fires a very, very deep 2. Must have just been the tippy toes on the line on that one because it did look very good.
Yeah, it did look good for a while, but like you're right, his toes were on the line, and that is one coach killer, that's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're that far out, you might as well go all the way. As we see down the other end, Toowoomba Pusseljic just not quite getting that inside shot to fall. As we see Southwest with a 3-second call inside. Toowoomba going to the bench as well. They're going to make some subs. There's Pusseljic getting checked out, and they're going to go with William Mitchell checking in for the first time this game.
So Toowoomba are going with quite a tall team at the moment against the backcourt of Vinesy and Larkins.
Yeah, there is a massive mismatch in height. So realistically, we should see Toowoomba trying to take the ball inside, but I'm not disopposed to that either. Martin taking the really nice pull-up jump shot for 2 as well. He's proven that he's got the shot capability from outside, and it's working for him. Just like it's working for Larkins as he goes to the 3-point line again and drains it. Larkins absolutely firing early on for his first season here at the Pirates.
But that was a nice adjustment there by JB. The fact that you just had Perkins take a jump shot over Vinesy before, and then JB just comes out and guards him instead.
And it's just raining threes from Southwest as we see Sean Bairstow nail the triple to take it up to an 11-point lead for the Pirates. It is raining trizes here. Which is the very opposite of what we saw in the last game with the women's, where neither team could seem to find the bottom of the net from deep. So very different situation here. Half a second on the shot clock left. Ooh, with a huge throwdown dunk there from Jason Spurgeon right on the buzzer for the shot clock. And that's just great awareness as a whole. I can't remember who the assist went to, but there was 2 seconds left on the shot clock. Still made the handoff, and Spurgeon just going down with the throwdown. So really good shot clock awareness there from Toowoomba.
Yeah, and that was another good awareness there by Toowoomba as well, defensively on that pick and roll coverage. They knew before, letting Vinesy do what he wants to do. That's not the right way to do it. And just then they just had a hard show, and that just forced a bad shot, turned to an air ball, just turned to a miss. Yeah,
absolutely. Toowoomba's shown some really great defensive structure in this game as a whole. There was obviously that one loss of recognition where Vinesy rolled and they didn't quite catch up on it. But as a whole, their defensive structure has made it hard for Southwest to get the ball inside, which is typically where Southwest does a lot of their scoring. They normally do it from inside, but it's the 3 game that's really winning it for Southwest at the moment, as we're seeing a great steal there from Larkins. Goes coast to coast, hands off of Ringholt, who fires from the inside. Putbacks all around, no good, and they just couldn't execute after an amazing steal.
Oh, nice between the legs, and just a foul on Larkins there. So he's just sending Martins to the line for 2.
Yeah, and that's Larkin's second foul as well, I believe. Yeah, so Larkin's second personal foul in the first quarter here. So he's going to check out straight away. Vinesy checking back in. We're also going to see Jean-Luc Morel check in for Southwest for the first time this game. He'll be taking out Ringholt.
It'll be a nice little first look at Morel as well. Like, he's one of the new signings for Southwest. I can't remember like his background at the moment, but he showed some really good things in the trial stages, and I'm really excited to see what he has to bring tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Morel is one of the ones that I couldn't find a lot of information about online as well. So he was actually one of the players I was really excited to see out on the floor tonight, just to see what he brings to this Southwest team. Like, I know Wayne Larkins coached me for pretty much the vast majority of my childhood, so I know Wayne really well. And so a lot of these decisions that have been made really interest me, and I'm really keen to see what the team actually brings and how all the new players actually fit into that structure. And Morel was one of them, so we'll definitely see what he's got out here. As we see Southwest take that last-second shot on the buzzer as well. Huge rebound there from Toowoomba. Spurgeon just getting over the top of everyone from Southwest to pull the D-board. But while he's holding the ball now, let's just talk about Martin from Toowoomba for a second. He's showing all kinds of crazy athleticism early on in this quarter. As we jump away for 2 seconds, it's straight away. Huge play there from Morel, but an even bigger block from Spurgeon. What a jump.
And then what a charge taken by Vinesy down the other end. So it's just been defensive play after defensive play.
Yeah, it is all happening out on the floor in this game. That's just a couple of massive plays. Huge steal, huge block, and beautiful positioning in front there, just getting set solid, and a massive charge there on the inside. Like, I mean, that's just great defense from both teams on those 3 passages of play.
Yeah.
Like, this is going to be a game won by defense, and we're only not even through the first quarter yet.
Yeah, still early days, and again, like, you're right, like, there were early foul calls, but now, both teams have made the adjustment, and we're just seeing beautiful defensive play after defensive play.
And that's exactly it. Like, sometimes, and you know, Jason Hay has such great control on the games that he referees, and that's what's happened here. You know, we had 6 fouls early on in the first 3 minutes of the game, but here we are now, almost, you know, an additional 5 minutes later. We've only had a couple of extra, and the game's just flowing really well. And you know, we're just seeing amazing offense and even better defense that's actually being rewarded as well, which is really good to see.
Yeah, it is. It definitely is.
As we see, again, really strong defense there from Toowoomba. That was Mitchell.
But nice pass inside to Morel from Vinesy.
Now I see why he picked Morel. Like, what an awesome inside two-handed throwdown. That's the 3rd dunk for the game in the first quarter alone. And just amazing athleticism there coming from, I think that's Abraham Yak. We've just got a couple of player changes that happened last minute. Yeah, that is Yak, and just great athleticism. Looks like it was just going to tower over the top and throw the dunk down over the top. But nice little finger roll at the last-minute decision.
Yeah, for sure.
So here we go. We're just under a minute to go in the first quarter here. It's a 7-point ball game. Southwest with it now is Morel. Again, goes to work on the inside, putting another 2 points on the board.
Just making an impact early on.
Yeah, making a big impact early on. A lot of the new players for this Southwest team are just really having a great first quarter of basketball. As we roll down to probably the second last passage of play. Nice step back jump shot there from McEwach. Oh, and it looked like good defense there from Besto, but they're going to get him for the blocking foul. So Shawnee Besto picks up his first foul, and that's going to send Toowoomba to the line.
It's been a really well-played game early on.
Yeah, from both teams. You know, Southwest may have the points lead at the moment as we see Weber make his first free throw. Southwest may have the points lead, but Toowoomba's showing some really, really nice structure, amazing defensive ability as well. So, you know, it may be, what are we at, 8 points at the moment, but this is really going to be anyone's game, and I think it's going to come down to the wire if both teams can keep playing this way.
Yeah, definitely. And Southwest definitely have to clean up those defensive rebounds at the moment right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, look at the inside there with a great play again from McEwach. As we end that first quarter, it's a 6-point ball game in Southwest's favour, but you're exactly right. If Southwest are going to want to keep this lead, they need to clean up their D-boards. Like, just jumping onto the stat sheet now in front of me, they've only pulled 10 rebounds in that first quarter, of which 7 were defensive. You come down the other end, Toowoomba's pulled 9 in that category. So it's not a massive split, but it's it's big opportunities like that where Southwest misses that D-board and they give Toowoomba that second opportunity to put some more points on the board.
Yeah, definitely. And second chance points is always a big thing in today's game. Like, the second you give up an O-board, it normally leads to an open 3 anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. So a little bit of work to be done by both teams, but amazing first quarter of action there. It's 23-17 with the Southwest Metro Pirates maintaining an early lead. It is quarter time, so we're going to take a quick break, but stay right with us. We'll be back with you shortly. Once again, presented by Panagos Productions. And welcome back to the Harry Haxton Court here in Hibiscus Sports Complex. It's a 6-point ball game. Southwest maintaining a narrow lead early in the first quarter. Quickly just checking out the stat sheet leading in to the second quarter. Toowoomba, it's been a huge game on the inside for Martin. He's already put 7 on the board, scoring the most out of both teams so far. Followed by Spurgeon on 3 points as well and Perkins on 2. A great job all around and 12 team rebounds as well. So out-rebounding Southwest as a whole. But looking at your Pirates, Bairstow, Shawnee has the most points of the game. He's currently sitting on 8 with an amazing 75% field goal ratio. And you've also got Jared Bairstow on 5, Vines on 3, Larkins on 3, and Morrell off the bench. Only playing 2 minutes, but he's put 4 points on the board with an amazing effort early on. As we kick off this second quarter here, it is Toowoomba starting things. We're going to see another charge straight away, and you can't ask for much more defensively from Larkins on that one. Just getting absolutely bowled over by William Mitchell on the outside of the keyway.
And that was, like, technically a smart play by Toowoomba because they just went straight to the mismatch. But I'm just surprised that Mitchell wanted to go like that hard against a smaller body. Because when you do go that hard against a smaller body, the referees are just going to see, all right, big body, smaller body. And if he pushes that little bit like too much, the call is obviously going to go with the smaller guard.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Like, it is smart because Southwest, it's not that hard to see. They are a much smaller team than what Toowoomba has out on the floor, and especially Larkins as well. They had that mismatch opportunity, but you've got to be smart when you've got that mismatch because obviously you've got an advantage, but you can't go too hard because you're exactly right. When a referee sees a big against a small and the small guy hits the floor with as much ferocity as what Larkins did, you're going to call the charge almost every single time.
Exactly. And you got Ringholt with a nice O-board and a nice putback.
Yeah, nice clean play there from Ringholt, and that's what we have come to expect from him as well. It was, a staple in his game last season. It's obviously coming out in force again here today as well. So you see a nice little turnaround jump shot there from Yak, but that was just a little bit too ambitious, went right over the top of the board, ending up after a bit of a scuffle out of bounds, so Southwest will bring it in.
And we've also got a nice little look at Christian Pang, who just checked in at quarter time, so it'll be good to see what he brings to the table this season.
Yeah, absolutely, because I think Pang's been signed with the Bullets development squad, I think this year for the first time as well. I can't remember whether he was for the 2018 season. So it'll be really good to see him in that development squad and how that builds his talent because he is an amazing player. And what an alley-oop opportunity there from Larkins to Sean Bairstow. Couldn't quite get the dunk out of it, but still an alley to be reckoned with. The young Bairstow, obviously with the huge hops.
Yeah, definitely.
Toowoomba now with a deep three-point opportunity, but that one's no good from Weber, just bouncing up into the support. So that'll turn over for Southwest as they continue to extend their lead out to 10 points at the moment. It's 27 plays 17.
Now you've got Toowoomba, I believe, are coming out in a 1-3-1 zone right now.
Yeah, not something you see all that often, but not in the QBL level at least anyway. But to be fair, it probably makes sense because a lot of Southwest points at the moment are coming from outside. I mean, as we just see another three-point shot made, they're shooting 5 from 8 from the three-point line. So a 1-3-1 zone isn't exactly a bad option because they need to stop that outside three because that's what's winning them the game at the moment.
Yeah, true. But right now, like, in my opinion, with the 1-3-1 zone, that's the type of, like, defensive, like, setup that you want to, like, make your opponents take rush shots. And sometimes the rush shots that you force them to take are open threes. And if they're open threes, then those aren't things you want to be giving up right now to the southwest side.
Yeah, valid point. Valid point. Again, it's not something that you see all that often. It's an interesting defensive decision. It didn't work on the first play, but we'll see how it plays in the long ball as well, because realistically, I think Toowoomba's just trying to find a way to shake out that three-point shot from Southwest, because they've got 15 points from three, so it's literally 50-50 split between three-point shots and inside shots. So that's not something you see often with 30 points on the board. So look, Toowoomba definitely going to need to find a way to close that down. It's now out to a 13-point gap. We do have a timeout on the floor, so we're going to take a quick rest as well. But stick right with us. We'll be back with you shortly with more QBL action presented by the Stream Team Australia. And welcome back to Hibiscus Sports Complex in Mount Gravatt. It's 30 for the Southwest Metro Pirates, playing 17 for Toowoomba, and an amazing game of basketball out there as well. And just do want to give a big shout out to all of our fans checking in from, I found out, all across the world. You've asked for it, Matt, so I'm going to give it to you. A massive shout out to Matt and Shane, watching all the way over from Houston, Texas, I believe, as well. Ex-team manager for Southwest. Lucky enough to win the green card lottery, get to move over to Texas and live out his dream overseas. So great to still have you guys checking in internationally, and to everyone else from across Australia tuning in for the stream as well. But to get back out on the action now as well, Ringholt just missing that three-point opportunity. Great rebound there from Makuach, as Toowoomba now with a chance to start making back some of this 13-point deficit.
So now I've got Southwest just switching it up into a man-on-man instead of with their 2-3 zone out of their 1-2-2 press.
Yeah, and a great inside look there. Didn't quite get the fall that he was hoping for, Spurgeon. Just rattled out at the last minute, but he did pick up the foul, and he's going to go to the line for 2 shots. That one, I believe, called against Pang, and that'll be his first. So first free throw, no good for Spurgeon. Second one, much cleaner.
Nice. Hanging over to Vinesy. Got Ringholt up for the high pick and roll.
Yeah, Southwest really just taking their time with the shot here. They're going to Larkins down in that deep left-hand corner for the three-point drop again. He seems to be loving that today. That's about the third time he shot from that corner.
Yeah, I was just about to say that too.
And hey, it's working for him, so why not keep taking it? As Larkins gets an extra couple of points on the board. I believe that takes him up to 9 in the game so far. Down the other end, though, we see it get straight back on the board. William Mitchell putting in a nice inside shot for 2.
And it's nice to see that he made the adjustment as well. He had Vinesy on him. He didn't tend to push him over this time. He just went with the nice little just over the top inside the charge circle.
Yeah, Larkins now just taking 3-point jumpers from all over the court. He wasn't successful on that occasion. Did manage to pull down the offensive rebound. I believe that was Vinesy.
Nice hustle play there.
Yeah, see Vines go inside, outside, kicks to Pang. Pang fires his 3. That's too strong. Great tip there coming from Spurgeon to get the handoff with the defensive rebound. Spurgeon driving strong to the bucket on the inside. That one's going to be called a block against Christian Pang. And that's just smart play there from Spurgeon, recognizing that he had the mismatch in size and height, but also the fact that the defense was caught off guard and not in position. So really good recognition there from Spurgeon to draw that foul on the drive. Yeah,
it was a really good rim run there. He just went from one end to the other. There was a nice kick ahead. You had Pangy and JB just looking to trap, and then Pangy just wasn't able to recover in time.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. And that's a really smart recognition and something that Toowoomba should keep doing, because we've seen it a couple of times now where Southwest has been a little bit slow to recognise their defensive position and get themselves in front. I mean, they've had 2 great charges, so I can't criticise them too much.
Yeah.
So they have been doing really good, but there has been times like that they need to capitalise on, recognise the late defence from Southwest, and just drive at them, especially when they've got that height and size disadvantage.
Yeah, most definitely. We got Mitchell with a big block on JB there on the inside.
Yeah, huge block. There's been a couple of really good blocks in this game so far, and no surprise with some really big bodies out on the floor with some massive hop potential as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Here we go now, kicking out to the 3-point shot for Toowoomba. That one, again, no good for McCouach, just struggling to find his form from deep at the moment to put the points on. See JB hand off to Ringholt, who fires and makes the nice, easy 2-point bucket.
He's just going to be able to shoot like that over Mitchell all night long if he continues to stay with it.
Yeah, Ringholt's just got that. He's got such a nice step-back jump shot. So if he can keep doing that throughout the night, they're going to rack up the points nice and easily because he just makes such an easy job of it. See Spurgeon hit the deck hard after trying to wrap his way around the defense. But again, Southwest just doing a good job getting in front, holding that position, and causing the offense to make the contact.
Yeah, you got JB with a nice drive with an and one.
Yeah, huge play there from JB, just with that nice little right-hand roll. He hooked it in and managed to get the foul. I think that one went against Yak as well.
Yeah,
so
it went against Abe.
So that'll only be his first, so not too much concern there. But he is going to get subbed out, and we're going to check in Demetrius Perkins for, I believe, the first time this game as well. Do have a timeout on the floor. We're going to take one as well. We'll have a quick drinks break, but we'll be back with you shortly with more QBL action presented by the Stream Team Australia. And welcome back to Hibiscus Sports Complex. It is the Stream Team Australia presenting your QBL Round 1 action between the Southwest Metro Pirates and Toowoomba Mountaineers. It's 37 plays 22. Southwest men getting themselves a nice little early lead as we see JB on the line for an extra 1 after that amazing inside passage of play.
Finishes it off.
Yeah, rattles it home. Quite lucky in the end there. It looked like it was going to flick itself out, but did manage to find the bottom of the net. As Toowoomba, just a little bit of miscommunication there. Mitchell just passing a little bit too far ahead. McCouach just not recognising where that pass was going.
And now Southwest are choosing to go with an arrow press, so a classic 1-2-1-1 now.
Not that it mattered too much on that occasion. Defense just chilling back at the 3-point line.
Pretty
But
much.
again, good to see them still getting themselves ready to run that play when they need to as well. They're not slacking off just because Toowoomba's sitting back a bit. Vinesy just a little bit too far to the right on that 3-point opportunity, but Sean Bairstow coming from all the way under the bucket to chase that one out. So great O-board there from Bairstow. Larkins just not able to find the net on that 3-point shot.
Yeah, it was a bit of a deep one. I'm surprised he took it since there was still like 8 seconds left on the shot clock anyway.
Yeah, it was. He was a solid 2 meters back from the 3-point line as well. So yeah, very deep 3 to take with some, a decent amount of time left on the shot clock. Might have just been a lack of recognition. He may not have realised how much time was actually left.
Probably not. Got Sean with the nice finish on the fast break with the assist from his older brother JB.
Yeah, great Bairstow double team there to bring that one down. Add on the 2 points. It's now up to an 18-point lead.
Again, the mismatch inside, and Mitchell capitalizes on Larkins.
Yeah, great move there from Mitchell. Just made that look like absolute clockwork, spinning around, just straight to the board. Nice, easy play on the inside, and great to see. And JB again going to work underneath, just getting himself in the right position at the right time. He finds the bottom of the net and draws a foul on William Mitchell. So he'll go to line again for another dime.
And checking in right now, we've got a young Dakota Daniels. This is only his second this season, I believe, with Southwest, and his first season at the QBL level. And this is his first call-up, and he gets some game time on top of that.
Yeah, 3 minutes to go in the second half. So for a first QBL season, really great to see him getting checked onto the court early on to get some experience on the floor with, some really amazing bodies and some really great talent that will be coming up against. So a good opportunity for him in this game. JB now with his free throw. That one looked much cleaner than his last, hitting nothing but the net.
Definitely.
So that lead now just up to 19 points for Southwest. Now 3 minutes to go in this second half.
Ooh.
If you're Toowoomba, you're down by 19. How important is mindset in a game like this to keep yourself in it and to not let this lead get out any further for Southwest?
The best way to do that is just to continue doing what you're doing and try and get the ball inside as much as you can. Because when you're behind, you tend to just want to always take the open three anyway. And sometimes, when you do have such a big lead like Southwest has, sometimes you're willing to give away the twos to give up the threes.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, Toowoomba still seems to be doing a really great job as well. I mean, I'm really annoyed that I think Pusujic, just that really great fake crossover, he just couldn't quite keep his handles on it. But definitely the makings of some really great passages of play, and the play before as well with Martin driving down. Like, they're still working really, really tough, but it can definitely really play on your mind when you are down by 17 points this early on in a game as well. So great to hear that if they keep doing what they're doing, because they had a great first quarter, they've absolutely still got the ability to bring this one back.
Yeah, definitely. All they have to do is string together a couple of stops, and all of a sudden, 17-point lead will just duck down to an 11-point lead.
Yeah, well, we saw it in the last game as well with the women's game, where Southwest put a 16-0 run on Toowoomba after they were down by 10 points. So it can absolutely be done. They've just got to keep their minds in the game and keep playing a tough one. As we just see Southwest continue to play a really strong inside game as well, drawing the foul underneath the bucket, leading to this Toowoomba timeout. They're just going to take a bit of a rest and recoup themselves and rethink how they're going to play. I would more so say their defense rather than offense.
Yeah.
Because what do you think in particular? So defensively, I'm really happy with how Toowoomba's playing. From a coaching angle or a statistics angle, what do you think Toowoomba needs to do offensively to try and break this drought that they're in?
As I said, they just need to keep attacking the paint. Like, if they're willing to continue to put Vinesy and Larkins on the likes and the height of Mitchell, then you may as well just keep attacking that mismatch. Like, even though Mitchell is not known to be a high scorer for Toowoomba, and I believe that's why they have gone to it, because I think the imports from Toowoomba are just so used to always having the ball in their hands, being that guy to always finish off plays. And the fact that now the ball is out of their hands, they're trying to look at the mismatches. I don't know whether that's going to affect Toowoomba offensively in that aspect, but I just believe that the imports just have to take their role this game and just look at what the defense is offering them from Southwest. Yeah,
no, I think that's a really good point as well. And look, they've clearly shown that they've got the ability to do that as well. They've got some really great offensive plays, and Martin in particular as well. He's got the athleticism to do that too. So they've just got to keep their confidence up and string that all together, because I do believe this is going to be a close game right down to the end. Toowoomba just needs to find a way to string in a couple of points, and that's absolutely going to be possible as well. So
yeah, definitely.
We're coming back onto the court now, back from that timeout. Got Sean Bairstow on the line for his 2 free throws after that amazing hustle in under the bucket and just getting that bump in the back while trying to get the board on the shot. Get the pass. So he makes the first. Second one looks good as well, and it is. So Sean Bairstow just having an absolutely blitzing game for Southwest. Currently leading all scorers. Those 2 free throws put him on 14 to lead everyone on the floor. See down the other end, Martin, great little shot there on the inside. Just couldn't quite get it to fall, but a good shot decision to make. See Jared Bairstow now just unable to make that one fall. Defensive rebound, good there for Toowoomba.
Critical 2 minutes here for Toowoomba. They've just got to string together just a couple of scores, just a couple.
Yeah, if they can bring it down into under 15 points, I think that's setting them up for a really good second half. And, they can just slowly start clawing that back. 7 points in the third, 8 points in the fourth. Like, they can claw that back. So they just need to have a really good stop here and not let Southwest score on this one. And then just string together a couple of good offensive plays to put some points on.
Definitely.
See, shot clock rolling down now to 4 seconds here. There's a big foul in the back there as JB tried to receive that pass inside. They're going to call that one against Joshua Ozegovic. Apologies if I pronounce that incorrectly, but a very big bump in the back there. So that is team fouls as well for Toowoomba. So JB is going to go to the line for another 2.
So now we see with the subs there with Vinesy coming off. Now Nelson is the only small guy on the court, so I don't know if Southwest actually heard me before, but now they've actually matched up pretty well against them to finish off the half.
Yeah, they've definitely changed, that's for sure. See JB making his second one there as well. Toowoomba now, not as much of a mismatch. There is definitely a big height difference now. Southwest actually matching Toowoomba in height. And again, that's exactly what we wanted to see. Great shot there from Milat Makuach. Just nice, steady, in position, clean off the wrist, and just a really, really good shot decision to take.
Yeah, exactly. And we see now with Southwest just playing a 2-3 zone there. So they're actually trying to entice Toowoomba to try and take some outside shots.
Yeah, and speaking of Toowoomba as well, just really great defensive position there to get that steal. But again, just a little bit too over-energetic there, just charging down the court, picking up another offensive foul. That's the third for them in this game so far. That one being called against Demetrius Perkins. They've clearly got the energy and the athleticism. They're just not reading the defense and recognizing, hey, this team is good at getting in front and getting that position and just not adjusting and stepping out of the way or slowing up for that jump shot. Something that they probably need to work on in the second half.
Yeah, definitely. All the adjustment has to be is just that small little Euro step. Like the fact that if you can see a big body in front of you, like I'm sure you can't miss a body like JB through your peripherals. Like you're obviously always going to see a body like that. So you might as well just try and step out of the way. Well, as you're right, just slow up, just take that pull-up jumper and it'll be all good.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, it's just minor adjustments that Toowoomba needs to make to start clawing back some of this deficit because they've got the makings of some really good decisions there. And sometimes there's just nothing you can do. Like that there from Max Curl, just amazing play through the keyway, fading almost out of court and flicking that up. There's not much you can do defensively on that.
No, there's no way. Like it was good defense. It was straight up in front, but Kelly just floated it straight over the top.
So about 5-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock. So Toowoomba going to go to the bucket, but again, not recognizing the strong defense on the inside. They're going to call the travel there against Martin, just not recognizing that 2-1 stop.
No, they're just not. Like he's just willing to always just trying to bowl over people like JB and James, but that's just not going to happen with this squad.
Yeah, I think it's just coming out of desperation as well. They're 21 points down now, so they're really trying to find ways to get points on the board. They're starting to panic a little bit too much, I think, and letting that get in their heads. Yeah. And they're just making those silly little decisions because they think they have to rush the points onto the board.
Which they definitely don't. There's still plenty of time in this game to go.
Yeah, absolutely. And so after Larkin's travel there, there is going to be a very, very long three-point shot attempt from Demetrius Perkins. It almost looked good for a second.
Yeah,
it hit the backboard, hit the rim, and bounced out. It almost fell down, but that does take us into halftime. It's a 21-point deficit for the Toowoomba Mountaineers. It's 28-49. Your Southwest Metro Pirates in front. We're going to take a quick break over the halftime period. There's 13 minutes of a break, and we'll join you for some statistics after the break. So grab a drink. We'll catch you shortly. And again, presented by Stream Team Australia. Stay tuned for more QBL action. And welcome back to Hibiscus Sports Complex for QBL Round 1 action between the Toowoomba Mountaineers and your Southwest Metro Pirates. It's been a massive effort in the first half so far. Southwest getting themselves up by 21 points. It's 49-28. What have you made of the first half so far?
I've just basically made the fact that we've made such a big defensive adjustment from the Southwest point of view. The fact that we had 0 offensive boards in the first quarter, and now we finished the half with, I believe, 7 O boards, which effectively is like second chance points. So,
yeah, absolutely. When you look at it in comparison as well, Southwest does have 7 O boards. Toowoomba only has 3 in that category. So there's 4 extra opportunities where Southwest has been able to put points on the board that Toowoomba just hasn't been able to capitalise on. And just looking at some of the comparisons with the stats as well, just going back and forth what we got in front of us here, Southwest is doing a really good job in every aspect, capitalising on the goal opportunities that they have. You know, they're shooting at 43% from the field, 37.5% from 3, and 100% from the free throw line. When you look at that in comparison to Toowoomba, they're shooting 37% from the field, 0% from three-point line, then none from 7, and only 66% from the free throw line. So Southwest really taking care of every opportunity they've got to actually put points on the board. Because when you look at it, both teams have shot similar baskets, but Southwest is doing a much better job of actually capitalising on that as well. And the other thing I really want to point out for Southwest point of view is the number of assists that they've got.
Yeah.
There's 15 assists on the board for Southwest. You know, Nelson Larkins with 4. Larkins with 3, Ryan Vines with 4, JB with 5. Like, just some massive statistics for assists coming from Southwest. They're doing a really great job of playing a team game of ball and dishing it around and looking for that open player.
And also the fact with 15 assists in the first half, like points off assists is a massively underrated part of today's game. Like, you'd be surprised that, if a team does have more points off assists, they're probably going to win 95% of the time in today's game.
And it's two things that teams don't often look at, but I really like to really dig into, which is points off assists and second chance opportunities, because that is just such a huge way to rack extra points up onto the board. And, you know, something that Southwest is doing a really, really great job of capitalising on in this game here.
Yeah, they have been.
But that does kick us underway here for the second half now as JB goes straight to work on the inside with that nice roll to the bucket with a single-hand shot for a nice, easy 2.
Got a high pick and roll with, oh, what a move. What a move by Puzlajic. I don't know if, again, apologising for the pronunciation, but it's a nice move. And we got JB.
Speaking of beautiful moves, JB with the reverse layup for 2 as well. Just really putting on a show, both teams here tonight. Nice, easy call there coming from Corey Guy. Just a hand on the back of the body there coming from Max Curl. Just driving through, hand on the back. Nice, simple call. Sorry, Ringholt.
Yeah,
I saw the 3. I missed the 2.
That's all good.
So great recognition there, just driving straight down that lane, obviously picking up the nice easy foul. So Puzlajic just going straight to the free throw line for 2. First one was made. And second one nice and easy as well.
Just rolls in off that front rim.
Exactly, and again, as we were sort of saying, only shooting at 67% from the free throw line as a team is not on ideal statistics for Toowoomba. So good to see they've come out and Puzlajic straight away, getting that extra 2 on the board. You know, just increasing that percentage, because you got to capitalise on every scoring opportunity you've got. As Larkins goes absolutely airball there on that deep 3.
Well, I believe that was tipped by Perkins.
There you go. I missed the tip, so not necessarily just Larkins' fault. And we got the coming down the other end now. We've got the 2-point bucket made there, so great work on the inside. It's Puzlajic again, and that foul getting called against Nelson Larkins.
Is that his 3rd?
It will be at least his 3rd, if not his 4th. Let me just find the stats. That is his 3rd. So Larkins, picking up his 3rd early on in the 3rd quarter here, so not ideal. Puzlajic putting away the extra free throw as well, so really great scoring to open the 3rd term here from Toowoomba, and all coming out of Puzlajic with the 5 points. That's going to be called a blocking foul there on Puzlajic. To be completely honest, I'm actually surprised it's a block and not a technical foul, because that was, from my eyes, 100% a flop.
Oh, definitely a flop.
So, again, though, really great recognition there from Jackie as well. She may not have had the best angle to see the flop that you and I probably saw, but I'm glad it was a defensive foul because he was back and ready to go straight away and has caused an impact on the offensive player. So out of the two decisions, a blocking foul is absolutely what you need to call.
And now we've got a foul call off the ball, I believe, before the three-point shot even went up.
Yeah, referee's going to come together just to decide what's going on there as to whether they count the three-point bucket or not. Corey and Jackie just discussing what's going to happen. They're going to wave it away. It was before, but it was big contact off the board, so it did need to get called. And they're going to put that one against James Ringhold as well. Unfortunate that they did have to wave away the bucket because it was a really great three-point shot. But, again, heavy contact probably needed to be called. So just can't really argue with Jackie on that one as well.
Yeah, just have to set the standard, especially coming out of halftime as well. So.
Yeah, definitely. The referees did such a really good job of setting the standard in that first half. You know, we've just had a 15-minute rest, so really good to see them coming back out and just setting that standard again. Going, look, it sucks we have to wave it away, but I'm not going to let you get away with that kind of garbage.
Yeah, exactly.
A huge block there from Ringhold, making back for that foul. Unfortunately, they managed to pull the O-board, and straight away Spurgeon turns around and puts them right back.
So I believe Wayne is now going with the risk and leaving Larkins on right now.
Yeah, look, 3 fouls. It could be worse. I think if he gets his 4th, he'll definitely be sitting him. But at the same time, Larkins has been having such a great game. I think it is important to keep him on the floor as well. But as we say that, Coach Larkins definitely recognizing that Toowoomba's been on a massive scoring streak. As we said, you know, we're down to a 14-point ball game now. So huge streak from Toowoomba, which is what we discussed, to the point where Coach Larkins is a little bit scared and he's going to take that time out for a break.
And I believe that happened because just then, like Nelson, he was in the paint, but he got well out of the way because he didn't want to pick up his 4th either.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and again, really good recognition from Toowoomba, and exactly what we spoke about before halftime, where you know they just need to keep that offensive momentum going, and they're doing a really good job at it as well. You know, intentionally driving the ball, especially at Larkins, and as much as it sucks for Nelson, they're going to keep driving at him now that they know that he's on 3, and they're going to want him off the court. Because looking at Larkins scoring as well, he's sitting on 9 points and pulled 5 boards, 4 assists. He's been a huge scoring and offensive player for Southwest. Yeah. They're going to just gun it at him. So really great to see in this first 2 minutes. Toowoomba just gunning ho out of the break. It's 11-4 in favor of Toowoomba this quarter so far.
And just as we talked about going into halftime as well, like Toowoomba are the team that can like chip away at any type of lead as well. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, Toowoomba is absolutely a contender. Like, you know, and Southwest needs to be aware of that. Like, they've got so many athletic, strong players that they can't fall asleep like they have so far in this first 2 minutes. You know, Toowoomba's got 11 points in 2 minutes. That's massive in a game of basketball.
Yeah, it is.
So Southwest just needs to not fall asleep and just do things like that. Play their own game of basketball with that beautiful assist by Basto into Ringholt for the bucket. Southwest just needs to continue playing their game, and that's exactly what they need to do.
And just then with Martin, like, I believe they just should have called a tech there as well, because that was another big flop.
Yeah. Yeah, he's had a few, and look, he got away with the first one. Well, I think it was Puzzlejik that got away with the first one, and you know now they're all kind of trying out a little bit. So it's something that I definitely think the referees need to keep an eye on as well, because it's not something we want, especially in QBL round 1 either. Teams to be getting away with, because it does just messy up the game a little bit as well. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out in the next 18 minutes or so in this game. But if it gets any worse, I'm sure they'll clean it up.
Well, they have to. And I believe Toowoomba kind of like, I think that's what they talked about at halftime, because there were so many charges called against them. So I believe now they're just trying to go for it themselves maybe.
Hey, if I was a coach, I'd do the same thing. If 3 charges and a half of basketball, I'm like, boys, get your body in front, take the hit, because they're going to call it. So, I would do it as well. That one there's going to be a block as well. So that one there was definitely contact on. So great call from Jason down on the baseline. That was going to go against Martin. Just couldn't quite get in front of JB in time. But again, really strong effort to try and get there.
And I believe now that's Martin's 4th foul.
Yeah, it is. That's Martin's 4th personal. And that's a huge blow for Toowoomba as well, because Martin's absolutely been their scoring powerhouse. He's on 11 points for them, shooting at a really good clip of 44% from the field. And 75% from free throw land as well. So that's a bit of a blow for Toowoomba. but they're going to play the risk. It looks like they're going to keep him on. Here we go. Now the subs are coming up to the bench with William Mitchell checking in, and I'm almost certain they'll be taking Martin out.
And Martin has to be careful here. He's having a... It doesn't really look like it's too heated, but I don't think Martin's really agreeing with what Jason has to say.
Yeah, but they're great sportsmanship at the end. Like, he may have disagreed and whatever, but conversation was over. Thanked Jason for the explanation and walked away. So great sportsmanship there from Martin. As we almost see a bit of a pump there against Nelson Larkins as well, as he spins to the bucket and can't quite fade it off there, but really good defense from Toowoomba. So now come down the other end, and that's just, beautiful finish from Weber. Just going straight over the top of the defense and taking the hit, because there was contact on that as well, and still managing to finish. A really good passage of play. Yeah,
it's finished right over the top there.
Yeah, so both teams really finding their form now offensively and racking up some quick points as well. We're going to have another foul here. I think that one's going to go against William Mitchell. So that's the third team foul there for Toowoomba as well. So
and that's Mitchell's fourth too. So that's another big blow, because he was a bit of a powerhouse in that first half with all of the mismatches.
Yeah, it is too. So that's two really key players for Toowoomba sitting on 4 personal fouls, as we see a very typical Ryan Vines floater just slowly meandering into the keyway and popping off a floater.
That's it. That's Vines just in a nutshell, really.
So yeah, Toowoomba definitely going to have to be careful now with Mitchell on 4 fouls as well. He's been left out on the floor for the moment, so we may see that change shortly. Either that or they haven't recognised, but surely Coach Breen, well seasoned as a coach as well, would be aware, just choosing to leave Mitchell out there. So we see it's down to a 14-point deficit still, so Southwest still healthily out in front, but Toowoomba definitely working their way back with beautiful hops like that coming from Demetrius Perkins. Just a huge D-board.
Nice tip out by Spurgeon. Just couldn't quite make the 3 there from the corner. Nice rebound from Vinesy.
Yeah, and that's really great offense, though, from Toowoomba as well. Like, Spurgeon recognised that he had the open player out on the line, just tipped it out. Great 3-point attempt. It didn't quite fall, but really great and strong offense. JB powering in, but great defense there from Spurgeon again. So he's just really working his butt off at both ends of the floor at the moment.
Yeah, he definitely is.
Oh, and really great. I think Sean Bairstow got a hand on that one, so a little bit unfortunate for Mitchell. I'm crediting Bairstow with the block. I don't know whether the statisticians will, but I think there was a hand in there.
Yeah, I think there was. I think Sean did get a nice little tip on that.
Oh, beautiful play there, Bairstow, but they are going to call the 3 seconds in the keyway on Ringhold. He was camping a little bit.
I believe that's his second one for the game as well. He was camping a bit in the first half too.
Yeah. The first half he was definitely starting to set up the fire. That one he definitely had the damper on the fire, so he was in there for a little bit of time. But great recognition from JB, cutting across the key. Nice little hook over the top, but just a little bit too long for all that to take place.
So we're still sitting at a 14-point game. It's not too out of it for Toowoomba if they just stick with it.
Well, absolutely not, and that's what I sort of said. If they can just chip away 7, 8, 9 points in this quarter, they're in with a really good chance in the second as, Puzeljic just throws down a really beautiful little jump shot to close it down to 12 points. So Toowoomba is absolutely still in this, and Southwest really needs to clean up their defense. Otherwise, Toowoomba's going to continue racking up some big buckets in this quarter.
Definitely, but they can't just let Vinesy just go down the middle there. Like, yeah, he missed the easy one, but he's not going to miss that too often.
No, definitely not. Like, that's a very unusual shot for Vinesy to miss. And, he's been shooting at a relatively good clip. And that really just puts Toowoomba back in contention here. Down to 9 points after that big triple.
And that's their first 3 of the game, too, that they finally got to drop.
Yeah. Very, very key 3-point shot. They're 1 from 9. And realistically, that's when they needed it to fall. And that's just made a huge impact. Down to a single-digit clip. Toowoomba well and truly putting themselves back in contention in this one.
Definitely.
As we make some quick substitutions here for Southwest. Nelson Larkins getting checked out. Christian Pang back on the floor. Big inbound play there from Toowoomba. Didn't quite get the steal in the end, but really good defense being played from behind from Spurgeon.
And Spurgeon is doing really well today for such a young player too.
Yeah, absolutely. Doing a really, really good job. Just getting himself up and down the court, playing strong offense, but then still busting his butt to get back down the other court to play defense as well. He really is doing it at both ends of the floor. which is really great to play, as you said, from a young player.
Especially since he's going up against the likes of a seasoned James Ringholt from UTSA and a seasoned like Jared Bairstow too. So
yeah. Absolutely. It looks like we've got a foul off the ball here as well. I think that one's going to go against Cameron Weber. Looks like there was just a little bit of a hold in the back there as Sean Bairstow tried to free himself up for the pass. It's going to be 5 team fouls as well. So Sean Bairstow is going to go to the line for another 2 free throws. He's sitting on 3 from 3 again. As we said, they're 100% from the free throw line.
Yeah.
No, sorry, they've called it against Christian Pang. And that's, okay, the foul didn't occur where I thought it did.
That's their first miss of the night, I believe, from the free throw line.
Yeah, it is, yeah. So that'll make it 7 from 8, I believe it is now, from the free throw line. Pangy won't miss 2 from 2. Oh, Pangy, you proved me wrong. The curse of the commentator. That's all right. JB makes up for it with that nice little inside push there. It's always a curse of the commentator. Shouldn't say anything. Always jinx it.
Always. Oh, now Southwest are kind of doing what Toowoomba were doing early on as well, just playing in a drops position off any type of pick and roll like defense, and that just allows Perkins just to drive straight down the guts.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, it's really paying off for Toowoomba at the moment as well, and they're going to have an opportunity to put some easy points on the board now with the free throws. So we see for Southwest, James Ringholt getting checked out, and for the first time making his QBL debut, I believe, Jacob Stadams checking in. Southwest Junior, been playing through for 10 years plus for Southwest, I believe. Yeah. I mean, I was running the Southwest men's competition for 9 years, and he was playing for a big part of that as well. So young kid, still playing in a men's competition for quite some time. So he should do a really good job out here playing against some really big bodies from this Toowoomba team. And
it's good to see that our Southwest juniors are coming up and making their QBL debut as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, that's something that's always been so good about that Southwest community as well, is they really do drive the Southwest juniors to come through. And, you know, you look at our starters, Sean Bairstow, Jared Bairstow, Ryan Vines, I can't remember who else started, but all Southwest juniors that are now our starters for our QBL team.
And I believe Larkins was a junior as well,
Larkins would have been as well, yeah, absolutely. So, you know, you got some really good juniors coming through and putting on some really big points as well. So great for Stadams to be jumping out on the court.
Yeah, definitely.
We do go to a timeout now. I think it's time for us to have a bit of a break as well. So we're going to have a quick one, but we'll be back with you for more QBL action shortly, presented by the Stream Team Australia. And welcome back. Here is where continuing with 3 and a little bit minutes to go in the third quarter. Toowoomba really find their way back into this game. It's a 10-point lead now, down from I think it was up to 22 points at one time. So Toowoomba having an absolutely blitzer of a third quarter. See a great offensive board there for McHugh, giving Toowoomba another opportunity. Dishing out now to McHugh. His three-point shot, no good. And a great defensive board there, a much-needed defensive board there for Jacob Stadams.
Definitely. We're going into a horn set here just to settle us down a little bit, I believe.
Shot clock rolling down into single digits. That was a bad read there from Bairstow. Great read, however, from Puzeljic as he goes coast to coast after the steals and puts on the 2.
Single-digit ball game, 8 points.
Yeah, it's been an absolutely huge quarter here for Toowoomba. It's currently sitting at 10 points to 23 this quarter in favour of Toowoomba. So they've really done an amazing job of turning this game around. And they could potentially close it even further, but we are going to stop up with a travel. Puzeljic just couldn't quite gather his feet before that three-point shot.
Yeah, just got a little bit too excited, and I believe he just shuffled the feet a bit before he released the ball.
Yeah, a little bit of a quick shuffle there, but again, it's just going to show that this third quarter has all been Toowoomba's momentum.
Yeah.
They hit an important 2-point after that steal. They got the stop on Southwest. They got it back up for that open three-point opportunity. Unfortunate about the shuffle, but the momentum is really pushing in their favour.
Yeah, and I believe Toowoomba now have stepped up their defensive game too, especially in this third.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, they've done a really good job to pull Southwest scoring back. I mean, Southwest scored 23 in the first, 26 in the second. They've scored 10 in this third quarter so far. So they're going to score less than half the amount of points.
Oh, big play by Larkins.
Very important play from Larkins, just breaking Southwest's scoring drought. Just get a couple of extra quick ones there. And absolutely needed as well, because like I said, they've gone from scoring 23, 26. They're now on 12 in the third quarter.
Yeah.
So Toowoomba's defense has absolutely stepped up and made a huge impact on the amount of scoring Southwest has done this game. And that's just a training drill for Larkins there, making that free throw bucket.
Definitely. He wouldn't miss too many of those like anymore in his season career.
So back up to an 11-point lead here for Southwest. They're going to really want to get a stop here and make some quick points down the other end just to cement the lead a little bit further. Defense so far doing a really good job as shot clock rolls down to single digits. That was poor recognition there from Ringholt, letting the ball get inside to Ozegovic. But good defensive rebound there from Southwest.
Nice pass by Larkins. Unlucky to Max Curl on that miss.
Yeah, definitely. So, I mean, that would have been a really important bucket for Southwest. They got the stop I was talking about. Just couldn't get the conversion down the other end for those extra couple of points.
Weber from the corner.
Southwest getting a little bit of breathing space now. Toowoomba starting to miss a couple of their important shots. Larkin's going to go pretty much coast to coast there. They're going to pull it up for a foul, though. They're saying it was before the shot and on the side. It is team fouls, however, so we're going to go to the line anyway. So Larkin's going to go to the line for a couple of easy nuggets.
Just back to the training drill, just as you mentioned.
Shouldn't have mentioned nuggets. Now I want nuggets.
No. Rookie error.
Always
rookie
bad.
error.
Always bad. Larkins makes the first. Back to that training drill, as you said. That's right. I know what Gemma and I are getting on the way home now. Again, nice and easy from Larkins. 2 on the board, as simple as that. Extending that lead up to 13 points. It's 51-64. Larkins just doing a really great job across the court, scoring points from everywhere. He's up to 13 or 14 now, I believe. As Ozegovic, nice little left-hand drive there. He manages to put it away for the 2, while also drawing the foul against James Ringholt.
And I believe Southwest now are trying to mix it up a bit. They started off in a 2-3 zone, switched up to a 3-2, and then they tried to play a bit of a matchup zone and switched up to a man with the last like 10 seconds to go on the shot clock. So they're trying to mix it up a lot in this third quarter.
Yeah, and it's cost them on that occasion as well, because that's Ringholt's 4th foul. So he's in a little bit of foul trouble as well. Ozegovic has just made his free throw, closing that gap back down to 10. So Toowoomba mixing it up a little bit. I'm all for that. It's working for them at the moment. They've absolutely blitzed Southwest in this third.
And I think we're finally going to have a flop warning there, just on Weber.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see whether referees do pull that back and give out the official warning at the next stoppage of play. They're going to continue playing through for the moment, though. Toowoomba, nice little outside passing. They do eventually go inside, and great inside play from McEwatch. And we are going to stop the game and just wipe up the court, and there is going to be an official flop warning given as well, as you expected.
Yeah. Like, I believe now the referees do have to get on top of it, and Corey is doing such a good job right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Like we sort of discussed, a couple of minutes ago, Toowoomba recognises that the referees are calling the charges, so they need to be taking those hits and trying to get them. They've just gone a little bit too far in the other direction, where it has been borderline flopping, but Corey has done a great job in recognising that on that occasion and giving the official warning.
It's good. It's good for the game.
Yeah, absolutely. And, especially it's good for this game.
Yeah,
because
definitely.
This has been such a strong, big-bodied, competitive game, and I've been loving every second of it. So it is good to see the way they're controlling it.
Definitely.
We're going to go back to the free throw line for Southwest. I didn't quite catch that one, unfortunately. It was off the ball. They've given that against Joseph Johnson. 9.
Yeah, McEwatch.
McEwatch.
Yeah. Just
Can't
a bit
read
of
Corey's fingers.
just a bit of a fight inside the post there on the pick and roll. So.
And put the big JB to the line. He's made the first. He's now 5 from 5 from free throw land. So this to be 6 from 6. And he's made it. So JB retaining his 100% free throw percentage shooting. As Southwest goes to the bench and subs in some with the young boys. We're going to sub in Jean-Luc Morel again, as well as for the first time this game, I believe, Martin Nolan.
Yeah, we've got Marty coming in, and I'm glad to see we've finally got Morel just back in, because he did such a good job in those 2 minutes that he did play in that second quarter.
Yeah, 2 minutes 22. He scored 4 points, shooting at 66%. He got a steal and he got a block.
Yeah.
Like, for 2 minutes of play, this is some awesome statistics.
Definitely. A bit of a lack of recognition inside, just cost Southwest there.
Probably when you're only going to be playing a couple of seconds a game, probably not the smartest move from Nolan taking that 3-point shot, but oh well, it's worth a shot, right?
Yeah, that's it.
And that does take us into the three-quarter time break. It's 58-66, so we've gone from that massive 22-point lead. It's down to 8 points, so we're going to have a great fourth quarter on our hands here. But we are going to take a quick rest, and we'll be back with you with more commentary and statistics in just a moment. And thanks again for tuning in and watching the presentation by the Stream Team Australia. And welcome back to Hibiscus Sports Complex. It is an amazing game of basketball we've got here, isn't it, Dave? It's gone from 22-point lead for Southwest down to only 8. So what a third quarter Toowoomba had.
Yeah, it was a big third quarter. Toowoomba just came back, locked it in defensively. Just got some couple of big plays when they really needed it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's exactly it. Like, we were discussing the 22-point lead and how Toowoomba would need to come out of the halftime break to keep themselves in the game. And they've gone and scored themselves a 30-point quarter, which is more than they scored the entire first half.
Yeah.
And they managed to keep Southwest to 17 points. So just an amazing effort from everyone on the Toowoomba team. And they're now well and truly in this. They're only 8 points behind with 10 minutes of ball left to play.
And they get the first possession of the fourth as well. So they've got a chance to push it to 6, possibly even 5.
Yeah, definitely so. And, we were discussing some of the statistics earlier about, why Southwest was so far in front. And, one of the big things we sort of were talking about was the offensive rebounds. And, they did a really good job in that third quarter to double their offensive rebound count in literally one quarter. And that's made such a big difference as well, because that's led to an additional 6 points.
Yeah, definitely. Is that a nice finish inside from JB?
Yeah, Southwest kicking off the scoring early in this fourth quarter, which is absolutely what they're going to need. Perkins just unable to convert on that one. Really nice looking shot though, just couldn't get it to fall. As JB is going to go inside again with the right hand finger roll, driving through the center, McEwatch and Perkins, and still putting it away.
When JB is in this type of mode, it's impossible to stop him.
JB, 4 points in a minute, and now he's got himself a steal as well. So he's really come out to fight in this fourth quarter.
Definitely. Got another horn set. Looking at JB inside. They're just going to go back to JB, I think, for the next couple of possessions until he starts to cool down a bit. And
realistically, they have to. I mean, Bairstow's sitting on 21 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. Like, he's just having such a dominant game across the court. And, that steal before as well. Like, he's really just getting himself all over the court and having an absolutely blitzer of a game. So I think Southwest is going to have to continue to push through him.
Yeah, they definitely have to, and especially with the 6 assists, it means that most of the offense is being generated through him, whether it is scoring or assists and even steals at times.
Yeah, definitely so. And unfortunately, Southwest just turning over on that occasion there as well, straight from the inbounds pass. But back to what you were sort of saying, that's the kind of basketball that they need to play if they're going to get themselves back up to the kind of substantial lead they had in that second quarter.
Yeah.
And just one thing I've noticed as well, we kind of talked about it before the game. I'm looking at the Southwest team going, wow, this is a really strong competitive team. It kind of only just clicked because of how well they've been playing. We don't have either of the imports yet.
No, we don't.
So neither Croft nor Pono have actually arrived in the country yet and aren't here playing.
I believe Croft is here. He's currently sitting on the bench, but he's just not cleared to play at the moment. Or just maybe just because he did just get off the plane as well.
Ah, well, there you go.
Yeah.
I was going to say, because I know the more I think about it, I know that he hadn't arrived the other day. So he's obviously, just gotten off the plane.
Yeah.
Either can't suit up yet because clearance hasn't been given, or obviously just resting him in this first game while he just recovers from that jet lag. But, we've got such an amazing young team out on the field already, and we're going to have two big and really talented point scorers coming into the team as well. So this Southwest team is going to be really competitive throughout the season, I think.
Yeah, it definitely is. And the fact we do have such a big squad as well, so there are going to be a lot of people fighting for positions, which is going to make trainings really competitive, and that's going to carry over into the playing time as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I mean, that's a great reason to see, the likes of Nolan and Morel getting some court time and some of the other boys as well, just getting some court time early on in the season while they still can to get that game experience. Because, sometimes it may only be a minute or two, but just getting yourself out there to feel how competitive and tough it is gives you a good perspective.
Yeah,
so it's really good that the young boys can actually have that play.
Yeah, definitely. You got brother to brother on the inside.
The whole Toowoomba bench and sideline yelling out for a 3-second call in the keyway there on Shawnee Bairstow.
And I believe they did have some reasons for that too. He was camping for a little while.
Yeah, I wasn't paying too much attention to start early on, I believe, but just what a great defensive effort from Toowoomba as well. They recognised, they had Bairstow trapped with a double team, who then passed inside to Sean, who was then triple teamed. So just really good defensive recognition from Toowoomba as a whole, and they're going to need to keep that up. They're only 11 points down, 8 minutes to go. 2 free throws here for Puzzlejic after that foul on the inside. So they need to keep working like that because they're going to get themselves back in this game.
Yeah, exactly. And now we are down to a 10-point ball game with Puzzlejic just hitting the first.
And he's been shooting really well as well, so it wouldn't surprise me if he puts the second away here.
And
he does. So, again, Puzzlejic just having a really great game. That's 5 from 5 from free throw land for him. So just really capitalising on those easy buckets.
And they could have gone back to JB inside, but Larkins just takes that three, and you got Spurgeon with the big defensive rebound over Larkins.
Oh, and that's just a great offensive move. Unfortunately, didn't pay off for Zegovic, but what an amazing Euro step, actually recognising that there was a player in front of him, like you discussed, and just stepping out to the left-hand side, the finger roll just not quite rolling the way that he wanted it to. But there's still plenty of ball game left to go. We're only 2.5 minutes into this fourth quarter as Captain Vines takes a massive three-point shot. Very important for Southwest at this point in time to get those extra points on the board. And Vinesy is just so good at hitting buckets when he needs to.
Yeah, definitely. He's always good just down the stretch of games. He's been really good for us at Southwest.
He's just so seasoned as well. He's just had so much game experience. He's been with Southwest for as long as I have, which is 20-plus years. So just knows how this team works, knows when he needs to perform. He really does perform, and he gets so much out of the atmosphere in the crowd here as well. So he just really knows how to put buckets away when he needs to.
Alrighty, so after these 2 free throws, I believe we are going to have... I believe it's going to be Martin checking back in after these free throws if they do go down.
Yeah, and I think, look, he may be on 4 fouls, but I think now is the time for Toowoomba. They managed to keep it down to that 8 points at three-quarter time with Martin off the floor. Getting him checked back in, getting some quick points back on the board as well, I think is going to be really important. But at the moment, it's all been Puzzlejic.
Yeah.
Martin was by far the leading point scorer early on in the game and even halfway through that third quarter. but Puzeljic has really stood up, and he's made all the difference in the last 5 or 6 minutes since Martin got his 4th foul and got checked out of the game. So it'll be interesting how that dynamic now switches again with Martin coming back on, and hopefully both of those boys can just work together to just keep racking up points. As we see Larkins just fumble there, but Shawnee Bairstow fighting through. Beautiful move for the easy 2 inside.
Straight down the guts there.
And that was just beautiful to watch, just splitting the defense. Nicely, I don't even know what you'd call that move, but looked brilliant.
Weber with the nice 3. He finally gets his 2nd one to drop as well after getting the 1st one off Toowoomba to go in that 3rd.
Yeah, definitely. And he's just having such a great game as well, Weber, just playing some really nice basketball. And again, great recognition from all involved on that one. No need for any kind of call. It's inside the no charge semicircle, not a flop. No one's blown a whistle. That's just beautiful all around from everyone. And
it was a beautiful finish too. You just can't take that away from Shawnee. That's so hard to do.
Yeah, absolutely. And especially from such a young bloke as well. I forget how old Shawnee is. He's probably only 17, maybe just turned 18. For a player that young to be able to take that kind of contact while driving to the bucket and still put it away like it was nothing is an incredible talent to have. And he's going to do such a great job over in college this year.
Oh, definitely. Signing with Utah just earlier this month as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I still remember Penny posting the link on Facebook, and I remember seeing it going, no surprise if Shawnee got a uni that he wanted. He's just been such a great player for many, many years, and such a big Bairstow as well. You've got so many good basketball players in that family. So, all the best for Shawnee. He's going to have such a great time overseas, and what a great college to be playing for as well.
Yeah, exactly. So it's back out to a 12-point lead at the moment. You've got Larkins up top.
Nice little screen there from Pangy. Probably, if there was more contact, definitely would have been illegal.
And nice
foul there from Larkins, yeah.
It was nice defense from Perkins. I believe he did just over-exaggerate that a little, but he could have just let it go, and there would have been the foul call anyway. So
yeah, absolutely. It was just really, really good recognition from him. He knew where the contact was coming from. He was aware where Larkins was. Larkins made the contact. No, didn't need to over-exaggerate it. But, hey, look, it worked. He got the call, and they're going to come all the way down the other end of the floor now for 2 nice, easy free throws. So, and Perkins has been playing some really good ball as well. So, realistically, he should put these 2 away and just, again, continue to bring that gap back down to that 10-point mark where they want to sit.
Definitely. And I believe that was Larkins' 4th as well. So he's only got 1 to play with for the last 6 minutes of the game.
Yeah, and I can't imagine Coach Larkins will check him out either. He's been such an important and integral part of this game. So he'll probably be left out. 6 minutes to go, 4 fouls. He can do it.
Yeah.
He can do it. Maybe.
Well, this wouldn't be the first time that he would have to do it either, too.
No, absolutely not. So I don't think it's too much of a risk keeping him out there. And look, he's been a big part of the team and had a lot of really great plays. But if he gets fouled out, you've still got Jared, you've still got Sean, you've still got Captain Vines, you've still got so many strong players on this Southwest side that I think they'll still have it in them to can maintain this lead and keep themselves in front.
Yeah, definitely. We just go so deep in the bench at the moment. It's uncanny right now, and we still don't have our 2 imports.
Yeah, absolutely. And, it's just going to be such an interesting power dynamic shift, and just to see how things change when the 2 imports do come in. Yeah. Because right now, this is a bloody well-oiled team. So hopefully the imports don't come in and, Southwest changes too significantly the way that they play. Because if these imports slot in nicely, this is going to be a very formidable team.
Definitely. Tough call there, but that's actually going to be called on Martin. So that's going to be his 5th foul off the ball.
Yeah, that's a big call to make for a 5th personal foul as well. And he's not really too sure what he's done either. He's definitely not happy about it, especially after just checking in as well. I won't lie, I didn't see it. I wasn't paying attention, so I don't actually remember seeing what happened. But that's tough for Martin. That is his 5th foul, and he now checks out. And Ryan Vines, that would have been a really tough nail on the head of the coffin if that had gone in as well. But yeah, tough for Martin. I mean, all credit to him. He's had such an amazing game and such a tough way to have to finish up as well. But all the best to him, and he'll have to sit out the next 5.5 minutes.
Yeah. Oh.
That's not going to stop them from racking up the points. It's the Perkins show now with that beautiful three-drop, just nicely sinking through nothing but net, and even barely hitting the net.
Straight through. So we're back to a 7-point ball game with 5 to play.
And we've got an offensive foul here. I was wondering whether we're going to get them. Southwest screens have been pretty sloppy all game. They do have it. They've called it against Ringholt, and I do believe that'll be his 5th personal foul as well. So like for like, Martin's out, and now it's Ringholt for Southwest.
And then you've still got Larkins with the risk playing with 4.
Yeah, you've still got quite a few players sitting on 4 as well. So for Southwest, yeah, Larkins is still sitting on 4. And I do believe it's Mitchell for Toowoomba sitting on 4 as well. So there's still a couple of extra ones there too. So that 7-point ball game, it is Toowoomba's ball as well. 7-point the lead. If Toowoomba can get a score here, they can really do a good job of putting themselves in with a chance. But just no good there. Such a great shot from Spurgeon. It just couldn't quite find the rock. Excuse me, sorry. Waited a little bit too long, Pangy there. He made it hard for himself, but he managed to pull it off. Should have just gone straight to the board.
Just lucky for him, he is like a lefty too, so that...
Yeah.
Ooh, nice hustle play from Pangy as well to force a turnover out of Spurgeon's hands.
Yeah, great couple of passages play from Pangy. And like you said, really advantageous that he's a left hand, and he's long-armed as well. Yeah. So just managed to get himself out with the length to just get that one in. But a great fight to get the out-of-bounds play as well. So they're going to gain possession again. 4 minutes to go. It's a 9-point ball game. If Southwest get some points on the board now, that's going to make a big difference for them.
Yeah, it will. There you go. So 9-point ball game. Nice screen from Pangy.
Great inside-outside passage of plays now with Vines. Great shot fake. And then Larkins with the 3. He finds it home. Larkins finally puts another triple on the board. It's only his 4th for the game, but it was an important one.
It was. He really needed to see that one drop after missing like so many after hitting. Like he went from 3 from 4, I believe it was his first like 4 threes.
Yeah, and then he missed about, I was going to say before you mentioned that, I think he missed about 5 in a row. That was an important one to hit to take that lead back up to 12. Toowoomba now, they're going to go and take a break and discuss things. It's a 12-point lead for Southwest. We'll take a quick break here as well, but we'll be back with you with more QBL action shortly, presented by the Stream Team Australia. And back with you here at Hibiscus Sports Complex. It's going to be a massive 3 minutes 40 in this 4th quarter here, Dave. 12 points to lead, Southwest up, but Toowoomba absolutely on their heels with every possibility of taking this game away from them.
Yeah, definitely. I'm excited to see what Toowoomba do in this last like 3.5 minutes.
Yeah, they've got, like I said, they've got every possibility of taking this away from Southwest. They just need to get a couple of things to string in their favor, and they can easily get themselves in front. Just had a really great defensive stop there. They've pulled the defensive board, and now they've got 20 seconds on the shot clock to find themselves some points. And that's just great defense there from Pangy. There's going to be a very late call coming from the baseline from Corey Guy.
I believe it was the right one too.
I do believe it was hard for me to see, trying to sort of look through players and producers and everything. But it did look like it was the right call, and really great defense there from Pangy as well, just keeping his hands out, which is really important when they're on 5 team fouls. So great defense there from Southwest.
Definitely. They're going to play through JB again.
Oh, big move there from JB, and what a finish as well. Just driving straight into the chest of Mitchell, taking the step back for the fade, and just firing away. That was just beautiful. Oh, big screen there from Mitchell on Larkins as well. And then a nice little flip up there from Puzeljic. Just couldn't quite get it to fall, but a very strong offensive play. 14-point the lead now with 2.5 to go. I think Southwest have cemented this one for themselves, but anything can happen.
They just have to have a nice offensive set here, and Sean just unlucky with that 3.
Yeah, really great shot there from Sean, though. Wide open. It looked like it was good. It just happened to bounce out, and things starting to fall apart a little bit here for Toowoomba on that turnover. And it looks like in the process, Perkins may have hurt himself. I'm not too sure what he's done.
He's like clutching around.
He's holding the boys.
I think he'll be all right.
Those ones just take a while to recover from, unfortunately. He's walking it off. Just never fun.
No,
never fun.
Alrighty, we're back up and running again.
Yeah, it's getting the Pirates juniors back on the floor to wipe up a little bit of the Perkins sweat after the dive to try and grab that one. We're just over 2 minutes to go. Larkin's going to bring the ball up the court for Southwest.
They're trying to look inside for JB. Gets nice positioning and...
Yeah, really great positioning from JB on that one, and he's drawn the foul against Demetrius Perkins as well. He's got himself in a really great position. He's used his elbows to sort of, box out, hold his position in front, and Perkins is desperate again and just reached around and picked up that foul.
And I believe that only happened because there was such great recognition from Larkins to kick it back to Pangy, knowing that the angle wasn't on from the wing, but the angle was on from up top.
Yeah, absolutely. And, again, Southwest has just had such good recognition across the board in the entire game. And, we talked about assists earlier on, and, that would have been a perfect opportunity again as well. Speaking of assists, you've got Bester on 6, you've got Larkins on 6, Ringholt 2, Sean 1, and a couple of bench players on 1 as well. 21 assists Southwest has. So of their 84 points, more than half, actually, no, exactly half, have come with an assist attached. And that's just a great team game of basketball.
Oh, definitely. So, like as I said before, if you get 20+ assists or over half of your percentage of shots are coming from assists, then there's not much else the other team can do.
No, absolutely not. And again, it just speaks to the power of this Southwest team as well. They are such a tight-knit group of players that do work really well together, but they're not afraid to use their teammates to get the ball inside. And it's not like it's the players that aren't scoring that are getting the assists as well. Like JB, 6 assists, but also with 27 points. Larkins, 6 assists with 17 points. So it's the players that are scoring that also aren't afraid to dish the ball off when they know there's a better opportunity. And to me, that's a really good indication of a strong team.
Yeah, it is. And it's just a recognition of trying to get from a good shot to a great shot.
Yeah, absolutely. And, that's really what's kept Southwest in the lead. Pretty much, well, it actually has been the whole game. And they've just done a really great job of doing that. And, a little bit of a slip up in the third quarter. It's kind of like that Bullets kind of thing wearing off on, I think, Southwest, where they just don't know how to play a third quarter basketball.
Yeah.
But really came out again in this fourth quarter and just absolutely firing on all cylinders again. I'm going to call it the Bullets effect now. If you can't play a third quarter of basketball, it's called the Bullets effect. It's so mean, but it's so true at the same. I love the Bullets. I've had memberships every year.
Oh, Regan.
JB on the line for 2. The first one is good. Again, he's just such a good free throw shooter. This will be 8 from 8 from the free throw line. And
that's
I think,
big.
You know what I've noticed? It always comes down to players that have a basketball ring out the back of their house when they're a kid, because all you do when you've got your own basketball ring is you just sit there shooting free throws. And, it's the same for Cam when he was playing for the Bullets. It's the same with JB now in the QBL. Just free throws are just back to basics. And plus, let's be honest, Penny Basto, stickler for free throws. Always was when I was playing underneath her anyway. And it's just such a great, nice, easy way to put points on the board.
Yeah, definitely. Not many people know the importance of free throws these days.
No, and free throws can make the difference in a game of basketball. We see really nice offensive there from Southwest down there. But free throws can easily make a game. Southwest has made 13 points from free throws in this game alone. Toowoomba's made 19.
Yeah.
Like, that's how much of a difference free throws can make. Almost 20 points for Toowoomba has been made from simple, easy, uncontested buckets from the free throw line. So if you don't know how to shoot free throws at a high percentage, you really are missing out on big points. And, you know, Toowoomba's made 19, could have made 26.
Yeah, exactly. And I believe most of the free throws did come in their big push in that third.
Oh, absolutely. And this fourth quarter as well for Toowoomba, they've had some really good free throw scores as well. So they've been doing a pretty good job of putting those ones away.
Oh, nice dish inside. And you're going to have Perkins with the and one and going to the line.
Yeah, and that was just a really great recognition from Perkins as well. He knew Sean was behind him and just made the right move to put Sean off balance, to make that body contact, to put the bucket away and get the and one as well. So there's 1 minute and 8 seconds to go. There's going to be a timeout called. We'll take a quick one as well, but we'll be back with you shortly for the last minute and a bit to go in this QBL round 1 game. And back with you here, it is 86-74 Southwest with a quite commanding 12-point lead with just over a minute to go in the fourth quarter. But the big man, Perkins, is on the line for 2. Sorry, for 1. I forgot that it was an and 1 play. He couldn't quite get that one to roll home, and a big defensive rebound there for JB.
And Spurgeon had a hand on that too, so it could have been a big O board for Toowoomba.
Yeah, but JB just that little bit stronger, getting his hand in underneath and pulling it down. So again, just showing the strength of the Southwest team, just really capitalizing on every opportunity. Great defense there from Toowoomba, just getting Pangy a bit off guard, but JB, the man, again, just getting himself to the basket and throwing that one away for 2.
All right, so we've got Perkins coming down. What does he have left in the tank? Oh, dishes it off.
Good dish off as well. Pusuljic has just been playing such a great game of ball. Just in the last seconds, couldn't quite find the three-pointer to make that one count. But again, the Southwest, I think they're going to run away with this one for now. 14 points to lead as Larkins just drives directly into the Toowoomba defense. I don't know whether they are going to give it to McEwatch. Realistically, it could have gone against either of them. That was just great recognition from Larkins, and neither player was in front or on balance. And he's going to go to the line for 2. That's 25 to go. We're going to get some of the young guns on again for Southwest. JB, an amazing game, is going to check out here. Ryan Vine's the captain as well. And the young boys for Southwest are going to check on now as well.
I think it's the first time we're looking at Isaiah Edwards as well.
It is, yes, indeed. So Isaiah Edwards checking in for the first time. Max Curl coming on for another quick stint as well.
Good defensive rebound there.
Yeah, good D-board. Perkins now just gunning down the court. He's tried to get the ditch off to McEwatch. Couldn't quite get there. There was a Southwest hand in there, though, so Toowoomba will regain it. But there is only 16 seconds to go. 14 seconds should be on the shot.
Oh.
Nope, shot clock's out.
Out. Yeah, it's gone.
Shot clock out, so 16 seconds to go. Toowoomba's probably going to try and want to get a quick one off.
Oh,
and
nice
they get a quick one off with
execution.
style, with a beautiful dunk there from Spurgeon off the inbound. Double team nice and strong there as well for Larkins. Managed to get around, did draw the foul there as well, so Puzeljic just picking up that one. That's going to be his 4th, but only 10 seconds to go. But we'll walk down the other end for Larkins too.
Like, I will say, Toowoomba aren't giving up in this game. Even though it is 10 seconds to go, 13-point ball game, they were looking to try and get that steal.
Yeah, absolutely. They're still playing a night, and that's just a sign of a good team as well. Like, even to the dying seconds when you know you're not going to get the W, to still continue fighting, to still continue playing a strong, tough game of ball, because it just becomes training, right?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
if you get used to playing slack in the last 30 seconds just because you're losing, what happens in the last 30 seconds of your game the following week when it's close?
Exactly.
You know, it's always great to practice no matter what. And that wraps that up here, and there's going to be a fight at the end of the game as well. Nelson Larkins definitely initiated that as well. He did get the foul against, well, I would have called potentially a foul there against Perkins on that three-point shot. The game was well and truly over, but a little bit of a push and a shove there at the end. They're still going even now. And the coaches now, Wayne's getting pissed off about it as well. I think everyone just needs to take a chill pill. The game's over. Let's just walk away from it, guys. Let's not end a great game of basketball like this. It's not necessary.
Like, it was a good finish.
Thanks, Nelson. Great game,
Thanks,
man.
Nelson.
So let's just focus away from the negative. I know the camera's on all that and what's going on, but let's bring it back to the good things about the game. I mean, what an amazing game of basketball that's been played out here in front of us as well. I mean, both teams played incredibly well. And Toowoomba, I mean, that's probably the best third quarter of basketball I've probably seen almost ever in my 4 years of QBL commentating. To bring a team that was scoring plus 20 points every quarter down to 17 and putting 30 in a quarter.
Yeah.
I mean, Toowoomba's got some great potential this season, and they've played such a great game of ball here tonight as well.
Oh, they definitely did. Like, they definitely showed the no-give-up attitude, and that's the type of characteristics you want from any type of good team.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, it's been a really great game across the board. So both teams really strong. Toowoomba, absolutely amazing effort coming out here. I'll be honest, for a while there, I was expecting them to come back and actually get the W. Because I know last season with Southwest, there were some times where they turned over some really big leads because of that third quarter. And the way Toowoomba was playing, I thought they were going to come out firing in that fourth as well.
Yeah, same.
But Southwest recognized the mistakes they made in the third and just came out and absolutely ran all over Toowoomba in that fourth quarter. But what an amazing effort from both teams involved. I'll run through a quick couple of statistics before we sign off here as well. So to start off with the Toowoomba Mountaineers, I mean, all credit's got to go to their starting five because what an amazing game they had. You know, you got 15 points coming out of Puzzlejic, 10 for Perkins, 10 for Spurgeon, 10 for Weber, 11 for Martin. I mean, an amazing effort all around from all of the boys, just racking up some really nice shots and shooting at a good clip as well.
Yeah.
The whole team shot at 43% from the field, which is really great to see. Didn't have a great game from three-point land, but really did a good job on scoring some buckets there as well. But to the all-important Southwest Metro Pirates, I mean, Bairstow has to be MVP. He put up 31 points, 8 boards, 6 assists. I mean, an amazing game there from JB as a whole. He just really came out gunning from all angles. Perkins threw up a massive 19 points with 10 boards and 6 assists as well to get his double-double. And Shawnee Bairstow, the young gun, coming out absolutely firing. He's thrown up 18 points and 7 boards as well. You've got 8 for the captain, Vine, 6 for Ringholt, and some really good points coming off the bench as well. But what an amazing effort all around.
It was a good season opener, and it's definitely set the team up going well into the next couple of rounds. Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's just a really great way for them to set up that game, and it's going to be great to see what they can do in the future, and especially when those 2 big imports come in as well. So really exciting season opener for the Southwest Metro Pirates. And again, if you didn't watch the women's game, we are covering 8 out of the 9 Southwest Metro home games as well. So do remember to tune in every week. We will be covering all of the games for Southwest, either here on the Southwest Metro Pirates YouTube channel, or 4 of the games will be covered by Nothing But Net Media, John Guarna, and myself through the Basketball Queensland YouTube channel. So do remember to check it out, and we will see you again at the next Southwest Metro home game. And if you're interested, check out the BQ channel tomorrow because John Guarna and myself will be covering the Brisbane Capitals v Cairns games tomorrow live at 12 and 2 as well. But that does wrap us up here, 90-76, Southwest with the win. Dave, first game on the call with me. Thank you very, very much. Dave Miles on commentary. My name's been Regan Baker. A huge shout out also to Gemma Kelleher, my producer and partner on the production panel. And also a huge thank you to Jacob Bills on the camera as well. Thanks again, guys, for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Thanks again.
Gotcha.